And so that concludes chapter 33, and we'll move on to chapter 34, where the ball finally freaking happens.
Yes.
Heck yes.
Finally getting my balls. What? Okay,
Right?
anyway, moving on.
Right? Okay, so here is a large chunk that I'm going to read because Ciel's adorable. Ciel is hot. Sebastian wants him. Everyone freaking wants him. Okay? Anyway, here we
Castiel's a
go.
f- I wish I could be that hot.
Right? But yeah, what was I gonna say? Now that we mentioned like how Ciel's adorable and we're envious of his cuteness, I know you posted it too on Facebook. It was that video of the trans king. That
Oh,
was like
right, I
so
love those.
cool. Dude, I want to do that. Like, I seriously want to just like, I don't know, Halloween or like cosplay like a male character at like a convention. I don't know. Like, I want to do it so bad. And like, I have to say, the blonde girl was so adorable. Like,
Right? And she
and she
was
was like,
actually like really hot. She kind of looked like a mixture of Johnny Depp and
oh yeah.
Heath Ledger.
Hmm.
And it's like,
And she was
damn, I would love to have sex with you right now, which is weird because you're a girl down there. So, but damn, you are hot.
right? I know when I saw her, like I loved the outfit. I'm like, that is so cute. I'm like, this is so CL like, and I'm so envious because she could totally pull off like the cutest CL ever. And I struggle with that.
I loved the facial
I want
hair
to
they
be as
did
cute
on
as
her.
her.
Like that facial hair was perfection.
Right? I know it's so cool. Okay. So anyway, now to read this big chunk. The young master was due to make his entrance to begin the event. I craned my neck past the threshold of the ballroom as I heard knocking from the top of the stair, the sound of polished heels descending. Shoes of the softest white leather buckled with garnet cabochon, silk sweeping over delicate ankles and still boyish calves. Stockings meeting trousers tight over his thighs. A shock of crimson velvet, a jacket buttoned low and with wide lapels, waistcoat of the finest brocade, ruffled cravat and lace peeking from wrist cuffs. Buttons gleamed gold, silk cords draped from the shoulder to display his most noble rank. On his chest was pinned the icy white of a rosebud against the field of red. He paused on the top stair to beckon his fiancée forward. The light danced on his profile face, cheeks without blemish, hair slicked back behind ears dotted with ruby.
Sounds like Grell.
That's funny.
Everything's red, like red and white. That is so Grell.
That is true. Grell would be envious right now. He's like he's lurking around in the crowd, like,
Right?
why is that brat wearing my color? Okay, anyway.
Give me those clothes.
Right. Oh my gosh, your voice just sounded like oh my god. Have you seen a Harry Potter musical?
Yes.
Okay, freaking Voldemort. It's
Oh
like
my god.
muggles have their place. And so do your clothes. It's so great. Uh,
Oh my god.
oh my gosh. Okay, so finishing up the last few lines here. Each regal curve and line, each flattering angle, every movement suggested poise and majesty. As he watched Elizabeth turn the corner, I allowed
Gag.
myself that one moment to stare from my position in the foyer. He was beautiful. Of course he's beautiful. Anyway,
Yeah, right?
and no one cares about Lizzie, so moving on.
Yeah, right?
Um, Dale welcomes his guests, and he says that Lizzie is the true inspiration of this event, and blah blah blah. And then it's waltz time. And so CL is dancing with Lizzie, and Lizzie's blown away by, oh my god, he can waltz, and like all the guests there are pretty impressed as well. As we know before, like in the anime, like CL isn't much of a dancer. So this is all thanks to Johan. Okay. Speaking of Johan, Richard finally arrives, or if he was already at the party, he came across Filma, and so he goes to greet him, and Johan, noticing this, must have been around Filma, I don't know, goes to hide. And so I just need to mention this part because it's really funny to me. Freaking sneaky ass Sebastian startles Johan when he comes up behind him and he's just all like, champagne, my lady. And I was just like, oh my god. Like, Sebastian, that sneaky little bastard. And then Sebastian, he tells Johan that Johan is drawing too much attention, like if he's all nervous and shit. So to kind of
Stop
help him
being a
calm,
nervous hoe. Sorry.
it's okay. So to kind of help Johan calm down his nerves, Sebastian goes to retrieve Ciel. And then this part, I wanted it to happen so bad. I'll go ahead and read it. I sunk to the wall, and Ciel continued his way to the side parlor, assuming I was in tow. It was amusing to watch him enter the parlor occupied only by Johann and think to himself, I see no lady. Oh, oh. Then proceed to turn around and scold me and come to find I was standing nowhere near him. And then what actually happened is this. It was only a moment later, heads turned to see Ciel guiding a lady onto the dance floor, and it was all rather striking indeed, because this unknown woman in such a smart shade of green had a few inches on the Earl, but he would insist on leading her through the next song. And then this scene eventually led to the sentence where it has me discarding the possibility of Johann dying, because Johann is leaving the townhouse tomorrow morning. So if Grell said that within the week or within the next few days, like the duo was going to die, then I mean, Johann, the possibility of it being Johann is kind of discarded at this point. So,
Is it? Or I mean, he could like die as he's leaving. Like the carriage or whatever could get into a huge accident, and he could like blow up and die.
that is true, but I mean, Grell did say that the two people like were close to each other.
You just want him to
So,
live, and you suck for that reason.
what? No, 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 no. But I mean, well, okay, because I had suggested Seal Johann. You said, oh, they're not that close. You said that yourself.
That is true. That I did say that. Yes.
And I mean, we don't know like what happened between Johann and Richard, and like, because maybe Johann's nervous because that's like his all-time big crush or something. Like maybe nothing did happen between them. I mean, they're not going to be close just because he has a crush on him.
That's very
And
true.
like, I honestly doubt Richard is gonna return with Johann, to wherever the heck Johann is going. So, like, I don't know. I'm not trying to defend him. I'm just trying to look at it realistically, I guess. Like, I don't know. So anyway, their dance comes to an end, and either Johann and Ciel go over to where Soma and Richard are, or vice versa. And Richard takes hold of Johann's hand, and he's just all like, "You must think I'm mad for stating this, so forgive me if I startle my lady, but..." And then he's like, "Dear miss, why are you giggling at me?" And so Johann had his face covered with a fan or something, and then he's all like, "Because the pleasure is all mine, Richard." And then like the prefect is just like shocked, and that's about all we get. Like there wasn't much more of a reaction. Like eventually the four of them have a toast and whatnot, and then a good hour passes by, and then Ciel goes ahead and makes the announcement that he and Lizzie are going to give a performance. And so here is part of that announcement. The piece my betrothed and I wish to play for you. She chose the composition because it spoke to her the feeling of love, the full breadth of it. He surveyed the crowd as if searching. His gaze met with mine as I stood to the side. The full breadth of love. I feel I have spent these past few months discovering what that means. He was staring right at me. This song explains it in a way that I won't try to give words to, and so with that, I dedicate this song to... He turned to Elizabeth. Her dress spilled over the bench, and she looked to be sitting amongst clouds, an angel with a gold halo. He closed his eye and mumbled, "You shall have me, body and soul." The pentacle burned underneath my glove. The audience cooed in adoration, for they thought the Earl spoke of the Lady Elizabeth. What a
Ah.
complete, absolute lie. All right. And
Oh, I
then,
love it.
right? You go, bastard.
I'm so
Okay.
mean. I hate Elizabeth. I want her to die. All right,
I don't
sorry.
blame you. God. I mean, I guess that it kind of adds. Again, I'm not trying to defend or anything, but her role in the story, it just kind of adds like that element of, oh, there's an obstacle for them to be together. I mean, aside from this being back in the day when homosexuality was looked down upon, so it's kind of like they have that struggle. Then, of course, Seal's engaged to Elizabeth, and it's just so many obstacles in the way,
That's
I
true.
guess. Yeah. Anyway.
I bought more wine yesterday
Ooh.
because like now I'm obsessed with alcohol. Today's my last day for antidepressants, so starting tomorrow I can drink all I want.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
I know, but I bought peach sparkletini, and then I
Ooh.
bought white Zinfandel, which is like strawberry flavored wine, and I'm
Ooh, I
so
love
excited.
that. White Zinfandel is so good.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm like so stoked, and I still need to buy rum chata because I haven't had it yet.
Oh, yeah. I know. I think I saw an ad the other day, and it immediately made me think of you. I'm like, oh, hey, there's Alex's rum chata.
Yeah, rum
That's
chata
so
forever. I don't what that like. That was like racistly Asian sounding. Not on purpose. I'm very sorry, any Asian people, but we're gonna cut it out anyway, so it's fine.
I am so glad that got recorded because I just like want that to be like, I don't know, like a notification thing or whatever.
My racist Chinese thing. You want that to be like a notification ringtone? Want China forever? So horrible.
Oh my god. That was
Oh
funny the second time around. That was like much funnier. I don't know why.
my god. I'm kind of crying a little bit. Oh my god.
That was freaking hilarious. Oh my god. I'm randomly thinking back to that one time that we couldn't stop laughing about something, and I can't remember what the heck it was. It was for Revelations, I believe. You were reading something, and I think you had misread something, and it was like super funny.
Oh my god. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm trying to think
Okay,
now.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was something about coming.
Oh, that was that. Yeah, that was it.
And I can't remember the exact wording, but it was something about come, and it was really funny.
Yes, yes. Okay, I do remember now. Because you were like, I need, I
Oh,
need you to come. And I think it was like, come back, or
yes.
like, I don't know what it was. And I was like, oh my.
Oh my god. It doesn't make us any less terrible because that was like a super emotional part, and then I just had to go
Oh,
fuck it up. Cause like
that's
Sebastian was like crying, he's like, "I need you to come back," and I was just like, "I can't even with this right now."
I know. Yeah, and then I think I tried to read it, and then we had like another little like short giggle fit.
Oh my god,
It's
I'm
like,
so
that's
sorry, Anime Cujo, that I turned your thing into like
oh,
something weird.
oh my god.
Oh,
Well, maybe
I'm too
Sebastian
happy.
was trying to. Maybe Sebastian was trying to be funny, and that way they're not crying like, "Oh, I'm gonna leave with you." It's like, oh, you know, let's
I'm
just.
so sad, but I need you to come. That was a creepy rapist voice if I've ever heard it.
That almost had like a little growlness to it.
Oh, Bessie, I need you to come. Oh my. Okay, this is getting weird. Let's continue.
Okay. And then it goes on to describe Lizzie, and no one gives a crap about that, so we're gonna go ahead and skip that, okay? And we'll go ahead and read another little bit from the chapter. Sebastian.
It was such a whisper I'd not heard in weeks. The lady at the piano dabbed a quiet, somber lyric. CL tucked the violin underneath his chin and glanced at me once more. He had my full attention.
Stay right where you are. Hear this. I command that this reaches you. Okay. So I don't want to give away the whole scene, even though it's uber amazing, but lack of time and stuff. I mean, you're obviously here listening to this if you've read it, but if you haven't, it's definitely worth a read.
I
So go
would
read it right now.
hope that they had read it before. If not, major spoilers. And you people are terrible people. Go read it, you lazy. Sorry. Says
Okay.
the person who has not read it.
I said the person who has not read it. Exactly.
Oh my god. Okay. Don't listen to a damn thing I say. I'm such a hypocrite.
So, okay. So anyway, you definitely have to read it because it's just perfection. The way that she words the scene, the way that she takes us through the music and the song, and it's just amazing. But anyway, here are a few bits that we'll read for you guys.
Yes. Each trill tore through me, each bridge of notes another plea, another command, another urgent request.
Do you hear it? Do you feel it?
Yes, his symphony conjured such imagery, an order in the darkness, the skin of his back lit by candlelight. A memory crept in. How I gripped his sides, paired with the sweet kisses on his neck.
Here it is, Sebastian. My full confession.
From the violin poured a full spectrum, a repetition spinning around, quivering, how his thighs would quiver under me. Before anyone was ready, it plummeted like so many white roses, one by one, his tears on my pillow. The second time the choral melody was played with embellishment, the vibrato fuller. His moaning kisses, hips thrusting, and his eyes a story of pain and courage. The final note drifted from the tip of his bow, and for a brief time all souls quaked from the motionlessness. He had spun us through the narrative of his heart, and I was the only one who could translate it in full.
So yeah, those were all like little different parts of the whole thing because like the whole thing is much bigger and it's
That was so
really
incredibly
descriptive,
sweet and
awesome.
like nauseating and just
Nauseous.
adorable. I
Yeah.
loved it.
I know it was like really cool because he thinks back to like when they were in those moments and then
They
it
were
also
boinking.
right. And then he also recalled like, oh, like Seal's tears on Sebastian's pillow. Like he wasn't just remembering like the sexy times, like he was also remembering like I made him sad or like I know I didn't include it, but there was like another one where he's like, oh, like stomping down the hallway, like dropping a glass of like wine or whatever it was. So it's like, like the angry moments too. So it was really good. I really enjoyed reading that violin scene. And dude, I just want some Sebastiel sexiness at some point. So anyway, that scene being concluded, it comes to this part with Sebastian. There were no words for the tightening in my throat, how I felt my chest collapse, but I could not identify what caused me this ache. And to conclude the chapter, we'll go ahead and read the last little bit here.
My face
Um,
was hot, and something slid down my cheek as if the emptiness was actually a substance that could fill me to the point of seething out of my control. Ciel had bested me, despite all my efforts. Well played, young master.
Agni, my voice sounded rather thick. Can I trust you to oversee the remainder of this evening's events?
Why? Are you leaving?
No, I must see to a personal matter.
I was out of the ballroom before he could question me further.
All right, and so that's where it concludes. So,
Oh, it's so intense.
right? I mean, the whole like something slid down my cheek. It's like obviously a tear. Like, oh my
It's
god.
either a tear or a worm. And my guess is a tear.
Or sweat, I guess.
Oh yeah, that too. Do demons
Now that
sweat?
I just saw my face was hot. I don't know.
Well, then again, I didn't think demons cried either. But yeah,
Hmm. We'll have to look back at the sexy scenes of Magdeprab and see if it mentions anything about Sebastian sweating.
yes, that is true. The research.
Right? Yes. Because I need some Sebastian in this chapter. Or in this story. It's been too long.
I know, right? I feel like it's been ages. I've been on like all these reviews, and I'm just like, why aren't they?
Right?
I thought this was a sub CL story, not a CL and everyone in the universe story.
Hey, I don't mind that either,
Well,
though.
yeah, that's true.
Can we just bring in William, though?
Where the is Claude, for that matter?
Oh, I know. I know.
Oh wait, is he even in this story?
No, but I
Okay,
was
I did
saying like how cool would it be if like they were at the ball or something? Like I don't
right.
know.
You know why I
Because the
got
ball's not.
confused is because I have Archive of Our Own open, and I'm on the Ninth Life
Oh,
page, and I saw Claude and Eloise, and I was like,
okay.
wait a minute, we haven't heard anything about them in Magdeprav yet, because I thought it was on the Magdeprav page, but
No, you're fine. I was gonna say that even though this chapter came to a conclusion, the ball isn't over yet. We still have next chapter probably to sum up the ball and whatever. So who knows? I mean, I honestly doubt Alois and Claude would make an appearance, but
it would be cool though.
it would be.
They would be very welcome.
Yes. So I want to touch base on the author's note a little bit here. So
No,
I'll go ahead and read what she wrote here. I could think of no other ending to this chapter. It just felt too inevitable. I feel as if I had lied to you all. I tried to steer this away from romance, but that was fighting a losing battle. Because to incorporate that into the story results in shattering the foundation. It results in even greater tragedy. Gah, I'm sorry. Sometimes I lie. So, I mean, it is interesting because like as we have seen in that violin scene, it's like obviously Sebastian seems to have feelings for Ciel. It goes beyond lust, like especially if he's, shed a tear and stuff. And I mean, I don't know how to interpret this author's note per se, because if she is going the romantic route, I mean, I don't know if it's gonna end happily,
oh
or
God, I hope so.
I don't know if she's still trying to go for like the sad ending, because I mean, obviously if she goes the romance route and if Sebastian still wishes to devour Ciel's soul, I mean, that is just going to make it that much more emotional and that much more sad.
I
So,
hope I'm not like guesting in one of these damn reviews, and then all of a sudden it's like, and Sebastian ate Ciel and went back to hell, and everyone was depressed. And then I'm just gonna be really sad, and I'm gonna be like, well, now I feel horrible for sticking on this long.
Right. If I get any hints of that happening, I will let you know so you
Good,
don't
and
have
then
to.
I'll pretend to be sick or something when you go to record that review.
Oh, and then we'll have like a little Mean Girls moment.
Yeah.
I'm sick. Boo you whore. Okay. And then I just have to read this other part of the author's note because I'm like, dude, where is this man? Why didn't he crash the party? Maybe he still can crash the party. So anyway, for a moment I thought, what if the Vicomte of Druid totally crashes this thing? Right at the end of the performance, just does that arrogant entrance of his, spewing some verbose thing about young love, his dramatic showiness that cheapens it. It would have been hilarious. I love the Vicomte for all his foppish absurdity. It would have been in true Kuro form, but I couldn't kill the mood I was going for. No comic relief for you or me. And, I respect her for that. I mean, the violin scene, it was so perfect to just have it be a CL Sebastian moment. We didn't need Druid interrupting anything.
Yeah, he
But
can go to hell.
but I love Druid, and I think if I obviously feel that the ball is continuing next chapter because honestly, I'd really like to know like what's up with like Richard and Johan. If Druid can still crash the party, I'd love for that to happen. So there's still possibilities of what could happen at the ball because, like I said, the ball is still going.
Ball's still rolling. I don't know. I tried.
Oh, but probably not though. Like if frickin' Sebastian has left for the remainder of the evening and the story's from his point of view, we're not gonna get any more ball probably.
That's true. I mean, unless like
Unless he comes back.
unless him and Ciel go to like boink really
Ooh,
quick in
Ciel
a
goes to
closet.
find him. Ciel can go find him.
Exactly. And then like they can go back eventually and be all happy and like,
Right? After something
yeah,
happens.
some sexiness finally. Jeez.
Woohoo! Can we have that happen? Thank you.
I wonder if the author of Magdaprav listens to our reviews.
Right? It's so funny because I can't remember if it was this chapter or the previous one, 33. But she had said something like, oh, like if you're gonna make predictions, like PM me or whatever. She's like, I don't want him floating around. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm doing this thing. But I had talked with her previously and she was fine with me reviewing, I think. Hopefully.
Let's hope so. Let's hope she doesn't stumble across this and go, what the is this?
Yeah.
Hey, Eglantine, how you doing, girl?
That's so funny. So yes, shout out to Eglantine if she does listen to this because you
We
are amazing and
we
I love
love
you
you.
and
Yes.
yes, you write amazingness.
Yes, you do.
And I hope
Even though I haven't read it yet, I apologize.
you don't mind us doing these predictions because honestly, I prefer to like voice my predictions and things.
And we're probably wrong anyway, so it's not like we're giving anything away.
That is true.
Like we were with
Trolling
freaking
us,
Revelations. We were wrong like about everything.
right? I think you got one thing right.
That's a possibility.
All right. Well, this sums up the Magdaprav review of chapters 33 and 34. And hey, next one is 35.
Yes, I've had a blast. This was fun.
I know. It's always fun. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you in the next review.
Yes. Goodbye.